Well, welcome again to Flying with Mike. I know it's been a day, but we've had some changes. Hang on a second here. Forgot to hit that pause button again. Anyway, welcome in. We're back in Fort Lauderdale. We're going to move the FedEx aircraft from there to Memphis for FedEx Express Virtual. Hope you enjoy the run. But I really do hope you have a great day. Again, if I haven't said thank you for all the prayers that have come out, that I know I don't like to request here, but sometimes you just have to look to the people you talk to the most and ask for them. And many of our prayers have been answered positively, actually, because there are a couple of ways God can answer. He can always go, sure, why not? No, I didn't really like that, but two, flat out, not a chance. And the third one, and the most common one, is not yet. We don't like that one, but not yet. He's working things in the background for our better. And it just may not be and it may ultimately be a no, but a door opens somewhere else, which is the case with what my youngest daughter got. While she shot for the assistant manager job, they graciously offered her a worker job so that she could build up experience, which, hey, that's a yes in my book. Just not necessarily what we look for. So thank you so much. Again, welcome in. I hope you enjoy. Yes, I was touting we were crossing the pond today, and I actually pondered it at 4 o'clock in the morning, having to kick the dog outside because he was, making moans and groans. And, oh my gosh, I got to go to the bathroom. I really thought about it. But then I thought, nah. If that happens tomorrow, there's a real good chance of an early stream. But anyway, we have another one that we had planned. We actually have several we have planned for the next few days. When we'll fly them is another subject. But today we're going Panda Express, as I like to call it, flying the FedEx Express Panda Jet, one of, I think, two. I think there's only this one in the MD-11 and one in the 777s. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a FedEx employee, not an employee at all, except the Flying with Mike. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the FedEx Panda Express. Hey, it says it right on the nose if you haven't seen that. So hope you enjoy. For that, let's crawl into cockpit because we are a little under the gun time-wise. And let's bring in Sim Toolkit real quick, and then we'll talk through this quirk that you do need to be aware of if you do indeed jump in and want to fly this beastie. Here's the link in chat to it. It's over at the X-Plane store. Look it up. You can grab it. Also, the passenger version is available. So, anyway, we got Sim Toolkit up here. Let me get rid of. We are online in the FedEx area. By the way, Fort Lauderdale is not listed anymore as a regional hub. Didn't know that. So, but they still fly quite a bit out of there. All right, so here's the route. You can see it, SMELZ Q116 to GOOGY, Washer, Vance 3 in. Currently 10 left. We're planning our departure 18 left. That could change to 18 right. We'll see. En route. We'll see what is up there. I had a full load of controllers. I guess maybe doing some testing. I don't know. But anyway, they're down to a tower right now. We'll see when we get there. Real quick, our payload for today, FedEx Express Virtual, is saying 76,250 pounds. We're going to put on 51,857 pounds of go-go juice. 25 FedEx employees want to fly with me. They've signed the insurance papers. They're good to go. And the non-disclosure. so they can't complain. 72,000 so-called pounds of cargo. The whole plane is roughly cargo except that front section. 90 on the cost index, 40,000 for our flight level. Wow. All right, weather-wise. Winds here 120 at 12, gusting to 19. Welcome to South Florida. A beautiful day. Obviously, the 10s will be in use. Over there in Memphis, oh, by the way, it's 77 degrees on the beach for those curious. Over in Memphis, like I said, we do have a tower online, so we'll get to that ATIS in a second. 1/8s are definitely the call, 180 at 15 with gusts to 22. I'll tell you this much, we could sure take some of that wind up here in St. Louis. I don't know why. That front must be what's causing it. But anyway, in the lee of, they're saying a pretty major severe outbreak coming, trying to scare us again. So, all right, it's funny. We in the Midwest, we're used to thunderstorms, folks. So, lighten up, Francis. It's not all that bad out there. But they won't. 10 miles clear and a 71, call it 72 when you round up in Memphis. Beautiful day. Okay, and they are calling in the ATIS for now. If it's there when we get there, great. 1/8s. And 27. Ooh, that puts another little wrinkle in this. Ooh, and that is in the FedEx. I like to call it the FedEx runway. Simultaneous departures, 18 right, center, and left. And the rest we're not too worried about. Ooh, I'll have to do some thinking on that one. All right, so that's what we're looking at today. I am online on VATSIM, sitting in the FedEx area, like I said. So let's get to loading this plane, shall we? And that is the biggest quirk of the whole plane, loading it. Okay, so what I do, here's what flying with Mike does. So take it grain of salt or, take it to the bank. I don't know. You're the pilot in command, as I like to say. We're going for a payload of 76,249. So what I do is over here in the pounds, put 76,249. All right, so that slid us over. Then I go ahead and fill in our blocked fuel, which is 51,857. Taxi fuel, you can look it up by coming down to the briefing preview at SimBrief and look at it. I'll give you a little hint. It's always 2,000 pounds. Unless you change something drastically. Now, this last one, trip fuel, I have no idea, by the way, how to use ballast fuel. I don't get it. I don't understand it, so I don't touch it. But here, entering your trip fuel to compute and check your landing weight. Now, when you start going long distances, you could come into a landing issue because you have so much fuel. You may have so much fuel still in pushing you to that landing weight. So our en route burn is our trip. So 30,428. Now you see the landing weight. So, and it doesn't give the maximum we're allowed. That I kind of wish it would. But then it doesn't for anything else. So, take it again. Now, one last thing. This guy will, well, first off, here's the quirk. Okay, I have yet to be told this is not a thing. So if you look at the checklist, if you look at the tutorial flight, which this checklist came from, you're gonna find the payload CG. Modify it so that your takeoff CG is between 30 and 31%. So right under the graph, right side, you'll see TO CG. That's what we're talking about. Currently sitting at 32. We need it between 31 and 30. So come up here to payload CG, adjust till you're legal, and then I bring it down. Let's just split it in the middle. If it'll play nice, 30.5. That is, in between. You can't be any different, and you notice how well it's in the envelope. I believe the passenger plane's the same, but boy, a lot different. So check, keep checking and finding out, because hopefully, I don't understand this, but I know the makers at Rotate do. So anyway, the last thing I do that helps me out, which I would think helps you out, I apply the load configuration to the aircraft and the FMC. So what that's saying is it's loading the aircraft with the numbers you have, not with visual images. Okay, I kind of wish they would, because you'll see here in a minute why. And it also puts it into your FMC, so that's, you can verify, but you don't have to go through and make sure. So we'll click it. You see the airplane adjusted. Go to ground ops. Here on ground ops, you'll see that we're already on the ground power, wheel chocks, and stairs I put to the plane. Open the cockpit door and the lower cargo doors, so what would be baggage cargo and the bulk. Okay, those are now open. You're all going, well, Captain, you didn't open up the main door. How's it supposed to load? We'll show you. Go ahead, request your fuel, and load the aircraft. And look at this. Don't get too enamored. It's neat graphics for the outside of the aircraft, but don't get too comfy with what you see. Because as soon as that door closes and the other animated items, the loader and the tractor with the dollies behind it, disappear, so do the cans inside the plane. The weight's still there. The cans go bye-bye. That's unfortunate, but hey, it's something at least. It doesn't take long, so we'll let them do it. And then we're going to get into getting this plane airborne. We got a lot of checks to do, so we're going through the whole thing. So bear with me as we go through. One thing concerning me right now, the sound levels on the plane seemed kind of low. And hopefully that won't be a problem. Shampoo Flyer, wish I could join you, but I am taking my grandpa to the doctor. Hope everything's okay. I will have a safe flight, but I hope everything's okay with your grandpa. So, nice job. Love it. But thanks for checking in, Shampoo Flyer. You know where to find us if you do free up somewhere between Fort Lauderdale and Memphis. I know somebody likes to fly those speedy airplanes. All right, so there you go. All the cans are on board. You're going, well, it looks like they're going to load them. Lumo 1995, what are we loading today? Oh, I don't know. Anything you can stuff in those cargo bins. But we are loading to Memphis. All right, now you just saw them disappear out there in front and in the plane. Like I said, to me, it's cheesy. But, hey, it's something. So, all right, so let's get up front and let's go fly with Mike. As I get my seat adjusted. There we go. All right, so we, during the music, basically got to the APU. And I know you're all going, well, that ain't very far into it. Well, I was doing a couple of other things. Sound checks were not sounding pretty good. Sounds like it though now. Okay, we're switched on and we're making sure our packs. All right. Okay, we're off external power one last time over here. We'll dismiss that. All right. Why aren't you? There we go. I was going to say, why aren't you going away? And we'll go ahead, close, 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 hoping they close. Let's take a look. They are. Okay. All right. So let's do it one more time. Annunciator check.
Overspeed.
That's actually not too bad.
Overspeed. Overspeed. Overspeed.
Light check looks good. Hang on.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Okay, there we go. We're on the APU. Did our lighting is set. APU air is on. IRS uno. Dos. Aux. I don't know if this does that in the real world, but it does on this one. And when you click engine APU check, you'll get an audible for 1, 2, and 3, but none saying APU. Again, don't know if that's real or not on the real bird, but I know the alarms themselves are real. That is how they go off. Engine 1 fire, kind of like the USS Enterprise computer talking to you. All right. Okay, why are our packs still being screwy? All right, emergency power arm. And we'll do the initial setup down here. FMC. Good till March 20 of 25. Good. And by the way, if you haven't noticed already, very Airbus-ish, if I can say it correctly. If you notice, it really is. Oh, yeah, I know. I'm working on it. Settle, settle, settle. All right, we'll go from a company route, KFLL, KMEM, boink. Okay, today's alternate, probably St. Louis. Oh, I was close, Nashville. That's like I said, close. Somewhere between here and there. Flight number, we'll go with FDX811. Now, this does not have that technology of the init request that a lot of the aircraft have today. The new ones, especially the Zebo, the Level Up, the most of the Airbuses and such have that feature. This one, like Flight Factor, does not. Well, I think the A320 does, but the rest of them, oh, and the A350, again, Airbus. The rest of them, no. All right, let's align the IRS. Oh, we didn't. Okay, that's fine. And back to flight plan. Dadgummit, I forgot it is actually on it. Okay, we're close. All right. Next up, cruise. Do we need to worry about cruise just yet? Hang on. Company, actually, I know I've done a couple more than I need to, but we'll go ahead, throw the cruise in there at 4400. Whoop, back up. And just, I'm pretty sure no step climbs, and there are none. Okay, cruise. Temperature and headwinds. We'll keep the temperature as is. Currently 271. We got a component. We'll call it head. So that'll be HD 71. 90 for the cost index. And we're pretty much done with this page. Okay, for now, let it align and then we'll come back. Last thing I want to do, well, we'll do it in the next section. We got to get the hydraulic test started. There's really nothing more for you to do than push the test button, close the little window. I highly recommend any button on here that has that cover on it, put the cover back. That makes you have to click twice so you don't inadvertently turn off, say, let's just say your hydraulics or fuel. Inadvertently, you have to close those windows back up or click them to click another time. So 2 clicks instead of the 1. All right. So let's get down here. Next up with the hydraulic test, let me go ahead and pull it up so you can see what it's doing. Basically, it's charging each one to their max, checking the height and when the alarms go off. And the alarms going off are our internal tech. And as long as we don't see any problems here, we're good. Okay, comm radio setup. X-plane VATSIM users, pay attention. Okay, make sure your comm panel, first off and foremost, we all know 122.8 is Unicom across the board worldwide. In the US, we use this thing called CTAF, actually all over North America and the Caribbean. Will it expand? Will it go away? Who knows? Uh, 19.3. So go ahead, set that up in case we're going to blast out of here without ATC. Okay, so standby 19.3 is our CTAF. That's what we'll talk on the ground and around Fort Lauderdale. And if I'm smart enough and up to snuff on the plane, I'll actually get it after takeoff back to Unicom. The key here, though, always make sure mode C is green, ex-pilot users. Also, in the blue, where the radio frequencies are, make sure you see TX, RX on COM1 or whatever you use for your primary communications, highlighted so they're bold. COM2, or again, the other channel, receiving, because you've got to have it set on. I'm glad I did this step. On the guard channel 121.5. Some call it Mayday, some call it emergency. But anyway, that's that channel. And I'll be honest, I never hear anyone on it. And that's kind of a good thing. Okay. Very important here. All right, now let's get back up here, get our panel set up. Now, I'm going to get rid of the yoke. And I can already hear a pilot or two out there. Wish I could. But, oh, wait a minute. I don't need that anymore right now. Okay, weather here at Fort Lauderdale. 120 at 12, gusting to 19, 40 minutes old, 30:04. So let's do that first. All right, I skipped a step. All right, work down. Okay, so your inches or HP, inches of mercury, is what you see as the Q and H. HP is the 4 number, usually found in Europe, everywhere but the US, and a couple of other locations. But it's usually the US only. Again, you will find it elsewhere. Otherwise, you'll have the 4, that is HP. Then your baro set, you set a QHE, QNH, QHE above the ground. I think NH barometric. Guys can fact check me if you want. But then set your barometer. Next, set your minimums. I set them to 400. Okay. And then I think we're done here for now. Oh, make sure your bank angle, you may have to scroll up to see it, but there's a little notch in the outer rim. Make sure it's on auto and that you're on mag. Wait a minute. ND is HD, HDG mag, and bank angle. Okay, everything else set. Now we go into the FMC. And we take a breath. Airbus users, you're about to go. Yeah, this is an Airbus, mate. That's why I affectionately call it the Airbus 11. All right, we said 3004. This one you will have to set. Okay. Okay, now you would come in and fill in some more of this. We've already done part of this. However, the next page is your weights. Remember when I told you what I do over here is click apply load and FMC, you see it highlighting? Yeah, when you click that, like I said, it loads the airplane already, but we can do the neat little graphics by clicking that. However, it also sets your FMC up. All right, I kind of blew it. That's all you get. I'm sorry. That's, they didn't bring the whole FMC, just the window. But in this case, not bad. So you can check your numbers. 51.9, takeoff, 0 fuel, all looks good to me. Okay, and that's something you can do here. All right, and we're all closed up. We're good to go. All right, come back. Let's finish this up. Next page. Now, if you don't, you'll have to click whatever didn't fill in to get them to fill in. It's just a meager step, but a meager step that takes time. F plan. Airbus is going, oh my God. Yeah, Airbus 11. Sid. All right, so for departure today, I'm going to try this. It usually bombs on me, but let's see. Charts. It bombed. Okay, so here is NavGraph charts. I highly recommend. Does cost additional subscription to keeping your flight sim itself, X-Plane 12, X-Plane 11 if you have it as well, along with all of your FMCs, nav data up to date. It also, this program, all your charts are up to date. Plus, it gives you weather, routes, multiplayer, a whole litany of stuff with weather. It's just an amazing program, what they've done. All right, so as you can see, our METAR 45 minutes old. I'll go ahead and get rid of that. All you do is click here. This gives you the current ATIS. Now, if VATSIM was up, there might be one, so you might want to check. Here's the real world. In the winter time, very good to check to see if the real world, how slippery it could be. I don't think that's incorporated yet, taking the NOTAM information and plugging it in. It may be, I don't know, but I don't think they have. They make it, don't get me wrong, to where it's slick. I've been on some of it, but I don't think they go by the NOTAMs that come out and the ATIS. All right, go here. So we're looking at the HROC 2 SMELZ transition for our departure. Okay, first thing you want to do, get the runway. Airbus guy's going exactly right. We're on 10 left. Go up, up, HROC. Okay, and where's our transitions? If we even have, so there they are. All right, so HROC 2, SMELZ off 10 left. Insert. Sweet. Now we're gonna do a little fancy schmanciness, go to plan. All right, now this isn't gonna really work out well. So what I'm gonna do is show the departure and then kind of get rid of it from you all so that we can check it here better. All right, so there's the HROC. We'll go out to Le Bow, around the room, Yolog, Lyric, Jones, HROC, Theu, Gnarl, and SMELZ. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, pull charts away, and we're going to watch it here on our nav display that I've clicked. Again, all you get is this, which is all we need. Airbus guy is going, yep, Airbus. Okay, Gnarl, SMELZ. All right, now from SMELZ, our flight plan continues on to the G116. And we're looking at SMELZ, Patoy, Dinar, Nice, Jaja. Kind of like the Jawas in Star Wars. Next page, and then we'll work our way up. Jawa, Theta, Vilken, Lobes, Googy, Washer. Okay, at Washer, as you can see, we hit a discontinuity. That's what we're really looking for. Now we put in our arrival. Let me just make sure I don't get that I've got my left. Oh, I did get it backwards. 18 left. Yeah. Let me see what we're doing here. $210 at 16. 210 at 16. It's been a while. Let's do it. It's an 8,900 foot runway. We're going for runway 27. And you can make that request inbound. All right, so we're going to do a runway change to 7. Let me show that. All right, so you would click the arrows and then make the runway change. Okay, now we got to select an approach. Currently, they're saying, poo-poo on you, it's a visual approach. Well, yeah, it's clear skies. But for some of us, we need that. We'll plan the ILS. And grit is fine and dandy by me, as long as I don't have to do the hold. And it loads it up down below. All right, so you can see we're going to come into grid. It wants you to do the hold. I got a feeling we're going to go straight in. All right. Okay, same thing. Click Memphis, click star now. We're gonna look for I-27. Click. What are we coming in on Vance? Vance 3. Wasser. Grit and insert. Okay, now you noticed it extended the line out. So we start doing our checks again. Erase. Hang on, I gotta catch up here. Where's Wasser? There it is. Erase. Cram, Vance, Chimler. Where the heck is Chimler? Oh, there it is. Now, this is where on the chart it says if you're landing runway 927, 36s, you vector from here. So you basically turn, for the most part, they're going to usually bring you in a little closer, cut you up north, and cut you in. Okay. All right. So there we go. And it does have us holding. I hate these. So we'll clear. Okay, so we're not allowed to clear it. So we'll just play it by ear at that point. Hopefully we won't be on the nav anymore. We'll be vectoring and handling it ourselves. But anyway, just to make sure, from grid, it's grand and it's the runway. Our hold point for today, if we're missed, Gallery. Okay, straight ahead, hold until ATC decides, okay, you ready to try it again? F plan, back to the airport. Pretty simple, straightforward, right? Good. Hope it's clear as mud. Okay, so we're back to the beginning. Hang on. I want to make sure we're back on map. Map over there. And the hydraulic test is done. Let's just do that for now. All right. Final checks is all we got left to do. Oh, wait, we got one more big one to do. My bad. My bad. So we got takeoff inserted. All right, so now, before we get away from this too far, check our rad nav, our nav rad. Everything looks good. Go to takeoff. All right, everyone's favorite gauge we're about to talk about. In just a second, let's figure it out. Okay, we're gonna bring Sim Toolkit up, only because it's a lot easier to use and work with. Okay, with Sim Toolkit down at the bottom, using this manager, you can add your SimBrief web browser application right in here. It looks just like it does on your web browser. Couple of options. You can performance tools to do this, or come up, view the current flight plan. There it is. We're actually going to be under the call sign FedEx 811, as you see up here. And so, like I said, we can do performance tools. You have to put in a lot of information, or just do the simple one. Make sure everything is correct. I even click populate weather just for fun. Click calculate, done. Here's all our numbers. So the top is what our runway and weather is, as it says. These are what we put in, and I think our takeoff weight might be heavy. It was on the 767. What's it saying again? 379,439. Oh yeah, we're way off. 379439. And the difference here is the difference between aircraft. So what's weight-wise and all loaded in SimBrief may be different than what Rotate did. So that's where that comes from. Temperature is 25. Winds 120, yep. And 3004. Now calculate. Get a little different number here now. That looks so much better. Flaps are what, set to an auto that it picks. We can either go full power or flex, and it's telling us we'll flex. So again, your runway top column or top rows, inputs, what you put in, for instance, takeoff weight, thrust, autos, and all of this in the middle. The bottom rows are your outputs and your limitations. Also, your bleeds are on and planning, anti-ice off. That kind of makes sense. All right, so the goal, 135, 142, 146, no notes, or 156. Okay. Bear with me a second. And take off the calculate. All right. So, all of this information will then trickle into the McDo. Okay. So, here's how we do this. Let me go ahead and get rid of it. All right. So for flex, we said 60. Slope and winds. Believe it or not, you can get the slope. Not on the short version, as I call it, but if you do the long, and or if you are on Sim Toolkit, you can get it there up 001. I ain't worrying about 001 because when you round it up, it's 00. So it really is kind of useless. So we don't have a slope, which is cool. However, we do have a wind component here. Okay, our takeoff component is a headwind of 10. Which is good for, Guess I gotta put it in. Is it up? I always have to look. Yep, the word up, again, just like an Airbus, 0.0, diagonal, HD, 10. Outside air temperature, 25. All right. Flaps, 15. That's pretty self-explanatory. 135, 142, 156. We're gonna just take them. All right. Why I laugh at flaps. Your flaps are right here, right where you expect them, except it's called dial-a-flap. It kind of sounds like a 1-800 commercial. 1-800 dial-a-flap. Call dial-a-flap for your flap setting. It's actually on there what they want. And we actually had to change this at an airport not too long ago. Your flap setting, you roll this little lever to what your paperwork tells you to set to, or your calculator, however it's set up in your plane, and you dial your flap setting in over here so that when the lever goes down, it goes to 0 with your slats. Then it goes to whatever you're set here. I kind of don't like that. And that might have been some of the demise to this airplane with some airline pilots. Maybe not a full, but it might have been what finally pushed them over. Because that intermediate setting of 5 and 10 is sometimes good to help slow planes down instead of going right to 30, like this plane literally could do. 28, I believe it is. So I think that could have been. Again, that's just me, non-commercial pilot, all of that good stuff. So we'll get to this again in a moment because we'll have to set the flaps for takeoff. Now, FCP. Okay, finally, we need to make sure our speed, 250, cool. Heading, runway. I think I don't know what it is, to be totally honest with you. 096. Oh, so close. Currently, no ATC. We're going for flight level 400. Okay, so we have the panel set. Now, if you get a clearance and they tell you, and clearance tells you, I want you to climb to 5,000, 10 minutes after departure, climb to cruise altitude or whatever, then you'd have to set that. But for now, since we don't have ATC and I don't think any are planned, but you never know, they pop up whenever they feel like it. We're ready to go. And okay, now both sides have to do the same: traffic, data, and weather on 10s. Oh, sorry, that's the news channels. Weather off, weather radar off. That really should be way up in the checklist. But anyway, I didn't make it, so they didn't come to me and say, hey, flying with Mike, could you make us a checklist? I would, but may not be as fancy schmancy as yours. All right, we're ready to go. And once I activate the ACAR system for FedEx Express Virtual, the big thing with this one is all you have to do on the website, select the flight, and that's it. And then come in here once you're loaded and go start. Then I go to dispatch and put in KFLL, KMEM. That way I'll have the emergency crews waiting for me when I get there, because, you know, it's me coming in. Just kidding. And that's not our route. Oh well. We'll live. All right, and that's all you got to do with FedEx Express Virtual. And folks, that's the sign. We are ready to boogly and woogly out of Fort Lauderdale. Many going, oh, but the beach, but the beach. Life's a beach sometimes. You just can't get away. Sorry, that one I set myself up beautifully for. And we're ready to go, like I said. So, over here, let's go back to ground ops. Okay, we've got our doors closed. Let's get the main one closed. Maybe. There it goes. Dismiss the steps. And let's do one little quick flyby. I see chalk still in, and everything else looks buttoned up. And I think we are ready to switch over and do our pushback. Not bad. Pushback, and I like to also always verify that I am online. And we are. Panda Express is ready for departure.
Ground to cockpit, please show me where you want to go. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
Do it simple today. Beacon. Chocks are pulled.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Push us straight back, please. Fort Lauderdale traffic, FedEx 811 heavy at the FedEx ramp, pushing back, plan to taxi 10 left. Okay, back up here. Whoop, wait a minute, I'm skipping another step. Aux pump on. Okay. Emergency lights
So
armed.
connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
And transponder is on Uxponder. Hang on a second, we'll release those brakes here in a second. I think we're ready. Beacon emergency light switch is in the armed. And pushback aux1 transponder is in exponder, and EP Ver engines. Okay, here we go.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Okay, we'll set up select A. And we're getting ready to go. Hope you all are ready. Got a nice 2-hour flight ahead of us, if that. So I hope you enjoy. All right, we're almost pushed back, and we'll start some engines.
Operation complete. Set parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
First officer's peeking in. I see you. All right, well, we got number 3 going. basically get up to that teal, blue, whatever color you want to call it line. You're
So is
pretty good.
disconnected and
You're
bypass
clear to
pin has
start
been
the
removed.
engine.
Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thanks for the pushback, and to those curious, it is a free utility with X-Plane, price of admission, and it's still free. Just put it in your plugins, and it is updatable, by the way, so nice that they do that. There's the guy letting and or girl letting us know the pins are out. And we're just waiting for a good start on number 1. We are ready for number 2. And fuel lever on, engine lighting up, and we're ready to proceed with the after start here in a few moments. All right, we can do the after start. Let's head up top here. Windshield defogger on. Anti-ice not needed. Air panel, APU off. See if it actually shuts down. It hasn't been lately. Hydraulics are set. Okay, back to config. And let's get our control check. Sorry, little delayed there. Okay. All right, engine again. And we set our trim to 4.8. Yes, you could have done this on the other screen. Okay, APU appears to be shutting down. We'll not hold it to that just yet. Oh, hang on a second, folks. Got to unlock a door. All right, I thought that door was locked, and it was unlocked. Cool. And the APU fired back up. Tell you. Don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it keeps wanting to stay running. Oh, let's see here. I left off with takeoff data confirmed. Everything looks good. And flaps. Flaps to 15. Stape trim, auto brake, takeoff. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn the radar on. And transponder. Lauderdale traffic, FedEx 811 taxi to runway 10 left. Oh, love coughing fits. All right, now we had a viewer on YouTube report to me that while I'm taxiing, I can do a lot of these checks that I'm about to do, including something. Hang on. Getting my radar turned on. Something I'm not familiar with. So I can click auto flight and prof. And supposedly that's going to help me on takeoff. Probably help me. I hope it works. As I was going to say something else, but I'm going to hold my comments. All right, and over here. All right, here we go. All right, let me just check. Lauderdale traffic, FedEx 811, departing 10 left, HROC 2 departure. V1. Rotate. Gear up. Lauderdale traffic, FedEx 811 out of your area to Unicom. All right, we are on our way. I don't know if that worked or not. I don't know enough about this plane. Let's go to get our slats up, or get to our slats, to know truth and what we need to do with this plane. Interesting footnote. My wife got back a couple weeks ago from Fort Lauderdale. At the harbor, which is just like right off the end of one of the runways, the cranes aren't the same height you're used to seeing them offload cargo ships. They're lowered because of the airport. Thought that was pretty cool. Don't know if you do, but I thought that was interesting. So, but we're on our way. Thanks for being a part. Thank you. I guess that tip helped. I don't know. I was clicking the buttons so much, I don't know what worked, what didn't. So, I know, I gotta trust it. But if you check out FedExVA.org, FDXVA.org, you'll join FedEx Express Virtual, who I'm flying with. You're gonna find yourself in a great airline. So, hopefully, I did it right. We're in the air. We didn't crash. And climbing on up now to 40,000 feet in my beautiful balloon. Okay, it's not a balloon, but you know, hey. Push that out to 40. All right, and we're on our way. Hope you enjoyed, and currently 1 hour 49 minutes. Don't look for a lot of ground time talking, folks. I've got appointment as pretty much when we finish here that I got to get to, so but who knows, we may pick up some speed and get there a little quicker, so we'll see. But yeah, I gotta be out of here at a certain time, so thought I'd at least try and get this in since I couldn't cross the pond today. Why the APU stays on, I haven't figured out. One more time. All right, we're coming up to 18,000. back to 2992. Oh, that didn't work over there. Why not? Okay, 2992, and I do know I gotta set this one. There we go. All right, we're on our way. All right, there she is, the Panda Express. Headed for Memphis. However, not with any pandas on board. At least that I know of. Alright folks, I will be right back. Need to stretch my legs. right, let's see where we're hiding. Oh, Okeechobee. I was a little nervous. I went, why do I still see water? Okeechobee would be the answer. All right. Well, again, thank you all. Great turnout for this departure, at least. And thank you all so much for flying with Mike. If you're new to the channel, love you to smash that follow button. And that way you'll get updates when we're live again. If you're watching from YouTube, thumb up and subscribe. We'd love to have you aboard. And that way you'll know when our videos release. All right. We are 1 hour, 40 minutes out of Memphis. And I think we just leveled. We did. All right, so we'll be nice to the packages and let them up. All right, let's take a look up here. What do you think? It's available. I don't know what's wrong with it. All right, so the APU continues to run back there. I don't know how to make it shut off. So, I hope y'all enjoy. It is the middle of the week. It's Wednesday, affectionately called Hump Day. And you're over the hump and headed for the weekend. So I hope y'all enjoy. It's a great day here in the Midwest in the few days leading into supposedly a huge severe weather event. And boy, are the weathermen out to scare you. Ooh, big thunderstorms. Ooh, be scared. That's what they want you to be. So they know they control you. So, hang on a second. All right. Sorry about that. The wife had a question. So we're on our way. Currently, no centers are up. Looking ahead with that spying ahead, no controllers between us and them. So away we go. I hope y'all enjoy. Thank you again for the turnout. We love seeing y'all here. And I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day as we continue on our way to Memphis, the FedEx Super Hub. Okay, turning that down. I like hearing my voice to make sure things sound good, but too much of a good thing really isn't good for me. So hope y'all enjoy. Thank you so much. And one last note, if the commercials are too much for you, the best way to get rid of them is to subscribe. Now, I know there's some tools out there to help you, but you got to pay for them. But the streamer, and that, by the way, if you use those tools, yes, that'll carte blanche you to any stream. You'll be ad free. However, the streamers you support don't get the amount of money we would normally get if you were to have subscribed. So, but we do get a little something every time, but not what we would get if you just outright subscribe. So think about it. However, you know, what your finances allow, we would sure love you to subscribe here. But again, that is your call. What you're able, and with the way this economy right now is, I get it, I understand it. Trust me, I've been out of work for quite a while now, and this has been my only work. So consider it. And know ahead of time, thank you. Thank you so much. The money that does come in, we are still not utilizing towards bills in the Flying with Mike house. However, it is beginning to get close. And there we are, cutting across the Florida Peninsula towards Memphis. Now about an hour and 30 minutes out. All right, how many of you out there have at some time, probably as a kid, heard the great biblical story, Jonah and the whale? Think long and hard. If you've ever stepped foot into a church children Bible school, you'll always hear Jonah and the whale at some point in their curriculum. The sad thing is, nowhere in the book of Jonah does it mention a whale. Check out our verse. And the Lord appointed a great fish to swallow up Jonah. Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days, 3 nights. every translation out there, except maybe the Children's Bible, says fish. God appointed, or God created, or God made a great fish. Now, I've heard this verse described in many different ways, to include today in my devotional time when I got up. Each time a different meaning. Again, nowhere in the book of Jonah does it say an actual whale swallowed him up. And those of us that know whales know they really, other than your killer whales, eat nothing but very small fish. And it's actually when you see them breach, like on Alaskan cruises and other cruises you may see them on, they're actually coming through one of those swarms, if you will, of small fish, gobbling them up for food. Okay, so it's interesting. Now, I heard one preacher preach on it, that the book of Jonah is about Jonah's racism, that he could not accept the Ninevites. Okay, I can buy into some of that, but no, not most of it. Today's gentleman told us it's a foretelling of the exile coming to the Israelites from Jonah. Again, you know, kind of, sort of, but the best one I've heard was that God created a submarine, and that's the big fish. I mean, plausible. God could make whatever he wants whenever he wanted. Again, why don't we just do what God tells us to do when he tells us to do it? Otherwise, bad things happen to us, as in the case of Jonah. So, yeah, the racism one, that one just kind of, what? He's a racist. Yeah, I don't think so. But, you know, I could be totally wrong, you know. Oh, my goodness. So the big thing here with the story of Jonah and the fish, I think the biggest takeaway from it is we just need, when God tells us, go say these words to the Ninevites, go to the people you're the most staunchly, you don't know why I'm going there, and then you know I'm going to deliver this hail and, you know, fire and brimstone at them, and then you're going to, you know, forgive them. Well, that's a good thing at the second part, that they're forgiven, but that's for God. We're to do what God tells us to do, and that's truly the story of Jonah. But great, love listening to some of these takes on the book of Jonah. In my opinion, and I am no theologian by any stretch, but I do try to bring meaning sometimes to the words that I put up in the verse of the day. And this comes to you from Version Vision. I can see where they go with it sometimes, but I'm sorry. I'm just going to stick to word for word on this. But you got to read before it and then after to get the whole flavor of Jonah. Just reading this verse, you could take anything you want out of it. So, anyway, I hope you all think about that, and I hope you have a great day. And I hope what I said made some sense. Never know. Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? In the days of Jonah and all the prophets of Israel, God creates a submarine. I wonder if it was yellow and it was little. Then the Beatles would have been. Anyway, no, I don't ever want to poke fun at scripture, but sometimes what people come up with in their meanings, I really have sometimes some trouble following along. So. FedEx is on its way to Memphis, the super hub. Hope you enjoy the flight. Like I said, crystal clear skies. And yes, I did double check that I do have weather. Is that England? Oh no, that's McDill. Is that McDill? That sure is. That little concrete L, reversed L, that's McDill Air Force Base in Tampa. Wow, that concrete really stands. Okay, an hour and 20 minutes to Memphis. Enjoy the ride. All right, just doing some Discord work here. All right, we're on our way with getting closer to Memphis. I hope y'all enjoy this. There'll only be the one flight today. Kind of slowed it down a little for Lent, and so that I have more time to spend uh, learning and getting closer to Jesus and God through this time of Lent, time of reflection and uh, listening and trying to get closer, like I say, to my Creator. All right. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to kind of just sit back here, relax like you all are from a day's work. Well, my work is in progress right now on stream, but kind of relax like you all and just get ready for what I have to do this evening. Okay. Wow, 77 degrees. Trying to make a run on 80 today. That is pretty cool. For me, too hot, but no matter the season. But I know a lot of y'all are here in the St. Louis area and in the, anywhere when it hits 70s, especially in the wintertime, are very happy. Even though we only have a few more days of winter till the official start of spring. So, all right, looking up here at the clock, I see about an hour and 10 minutes till we get into Memphis. And I hope you all are, I'm gearing up for the landing, of course. So hopefully things will go as planned. Just double checking I didn't miss anything. All right, so looks like a little bit of traffic over in Orlando. And, oh, clicked the wrong thing. Hang on. There we go. And everything looking good. And we got a Delta flight coming at us, headed for Miami. Are they at our level, or are they? Oh, they're below us, so okay. Hang on a second. Let's see here. Why is 27 not in use now? Huh, we'll have to see as we get closer. It's saying not used now. We're gonna use it. All right, TCAS. Double check, we are on, yes. Well, there's the traffic out there. Just not showing up on TCAS for some reason. Oh well. And we'll just continue on. Now, give you an idea of what this wind is like. Look, here's our line. Look at the angle we're going to keep that line to stay on track. So when your instructors, those of you in the real world wonder the why, there it is. That's how you stay on that line you were wanting. Crazy, I know. All right, so we're on our way with an hour to go, and we'll be in the Memphis area. So enjoy the best we can do on FedEx. We don't even serve peanuts. All right, so and I'm going to go get a cup of coffee from the galley. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry for the lengthiness. House is getting a little warm, so we've got the air on, believe it or not. My office is actually almost 80 degrees. So we're trying to cool things down. All right, what is LKZ? I'm sure if that's even on our route. No, it's not. Oh, Atlanta Center came up. All right, where are we? Oh, it's LYZ and it's a V or a ADF. All right. So, showing that it's online. Go ahead and turn that off. If they need me, they know how to get a hold of me. Not showing them on any of my other systems. Oh, I'm showing them here. They aren't showing up on VATSIM. Or Elevatech. Huh. Well, they're gonna have to yell at me then, I guess. So, I hope again your Wednesday goes well, is well, and I hope your end of the week goes as planned and you have a great weekend. We fairly calm. If, you know, we'll see how things go. Oh. Well, that was weird. Well, hopefully we're still connected. Still not seeing Atlanta online. All right, well, we'll find out here shortly. Aha, we got numbers now, 32975. Okay, so we're ready when Atlanta is for us. And kind of looking at our arrival. Actually, I don't think he's going to have us start our descent. But we'll see. All right, so enjoy. We're about ready to cross into Atlanta, and when they ping us, we'll give them a call. All right, good thing is temperature's dropping here in the studio, which is good. And hopefully the computer is going, ah. So, because I know I'm beginning to feel a lot better. And I just don't like, you keep it under 70. 65, 70 is about as high as I want to see temperatures. Take it down to about 30 degrees at night or even during the day. I'm pretty happy. So why did you do that? And there's Atlanta. I think we got that squared away here on my phone. All right, let me reach out and say hello. Hello, Moto. Atlanta Center, FedEx 811 Heavy with you. We're at flight level 400.
FedEx 811 Atlanta Center, roger.
Okay, that's all we get. Hi and a bye, and we're gone.
1219 is for level 400.
Total 1219 Atlanta Center, Hulk. Roger, squawk 1614.
Squawk 1614, Delta 1219.
Center, hello, Delta 526, approaching Foxtrot.
Level 526 Atlanta Center, runway 26 left, taxi via Foxtrot.
Runway 26 left, taxi via Foxtrot, Delta 526.
Okay, let's see. Some things are going on here that I'm not comfortable with on the stream. Hey, we're getting... All right, so we are on our way. I'll just kind of hope for the best here that we're not going to start seeing disconnects. Kind of thinking we might. But anyway, let's hope for the best that the Twitch network is doing what they should be to correct this. Or I have to go in and make checks. Okay, we'll see how this does. All right. But anyway, we're on our way. We got about 45 minutes or so to Memphis, and pretty much when we land, we're going to be pretty much wrapping up pretty as quickly as we can, and we'll get the video uplifted as soon as we can as well. We may have to do it later tonight. We'll see. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed.
526 RNAT, this is not here, runway 26 left, clear for takeoff.
So, thank you all for joining, and if
Clear for
you're
takeoff, runway 26 left.
experiencing
Delta
troubles,
526, can you repeat the
not
RNAT,
sure
please?
where it's at.
Snuffy.
RNAT, Delta 526.
Delta 2720, cross Dutchy, how to maintain flight level 240.
Also, like to send a shout out to Jamalo 45,
Delta 2720,
Black
cross
Knife
Dutchy, and
75.
maintain
They
flight level
followed us
240.
yesterday. We sure appreciate you. All right, we're seeing some interesting rates on the stream, so hopefully it's not real stuttery for you.
Delta 2720, cross Dutchy, and maintain flight level 240.
Cross Dutchy, and maintain 240, Delta 2720.
All right, Vance says we need to be below 23 by Vance at 280. So we'll see how they, below 23,000 by Cram as well. So, and then 10,000 feet by, so we're going from 24,000 down to 10,000 pretty quick. 11, holy mackerel, 57 miles, so that's a pretty good descent. All right, well, we'll make it happen like we always have to. All right, so enjoy. We got a little further to go here in the Delta's airspace. Atlanta, might as well call it Delta. Atlanta's airspace, and hope you enjoy.
Delta 2050, north end ramp at Hartsfield, taxi for departure.
Delta 2050, Atlanta Center, runway 26 left, taxi via Foxtrot.
26 left via Foxtrot, Delta 2050.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but it looks like things have gotten back in line here. To a point. It keeps... Oh, my. So I'm just not going to look at those numbers. Oh, my. Gonna look at what the stream is showing on the moderator screen and the other screen I have going. So, I hope you enjoy.
Delta 1219, Jacksonville Center is offline, frequency change approved, you know.
Review the combo shift.
And if you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, I want to give a shout out to all the prayer warriors that do listen in. Thank you for those prayers. While my daughter, as we all know, God's answers may or may not be, we would love for them to be always yes, but more often than not, they're either a no, and God knows a lot more than we'll ever know. or the most often answer is not yet, not now. There's things being worked that we can't see to get us into where God wants us. And in this situation with our prayers, I am so thankful you all were helping us out. My daughter applied for a assistant manager job. Well, she didn't get that one. God did open the door for her to work in that position as a normal employee to build time up. So I want to thank you all for that. It really meant a lot. So, and especially to her. So.
Atlanta Center, Legion 415, 536 here.
Legion 415, Atlanta Center, roger. Level 526, better contact. I maintain level 340.
Cloud maintain 340, Delta 526.
And just an aside to what we just went through or discussed, if you have prayers or you have concerns or you need prayers, let me know. I will pray for you. You can let me know here in chat so the rest of us hear you, or feel free to DM me. And I love to come up and chat with you.
Delta 20.
So, very rarely am I not available. So, but prayer is a amazing gift, blessing God has given us to chat and talk through our issues to Him about our issues. And like I said,
Atlanta Center, good day. This is Delta 200
yes.
at Atlanta, stand Echo 10. Requesting push and start.
Just not yet.
Delta 200,
ready
Rapids uncontrolled, connect tower, Romer 9.1 for
Things
taxi.
need to change a little here.
119, this one for taxi.
So sometimes
Delta
patience is
Delta 2720, Jack Center's offline, frequency change approved.
what's
Frequency
needed.
change approved, Delta 2720.
Just is amazing.
Delta 2466, Washington Center's offline, frequency change approved.
I can also report just about everything our family
Delta 2466, Washington Center's offline, frequency change approved. Good day.
is just is a blessing from God. We may feel like we fought for it, but God came through and kept opening those doors. And yes, He's closed some, but usually that door is opening somewhere else. Sometimes hard to find, but He navigates us that way. So
Frequency change approved, Delta 2466 line.
don't ever lose sight of the power of prayer. All right, so we're coming up to, I can't read it on my screen, hang on. Vilken, I think that's Birmingham. It is. And we'll begin our turn to the northwest to Memphis. I'm going to go ahead, unless Memphis comes up, says otherwise, I'm planning 27. It looks like Atlanta's starting to heat up in the busyness. They now have a tower at the airport. We are still looking at Memphis. But I hope y'all enjoy the ride. If you like what you see and you're new, hey, we'd love you to follow along, just like Jamalo45 and Black Knight did yesterday and within the last 18 hours or so. We sure appreciate the follows. If you're catching us on YouTube, Mind you, those are not live streams. Those are basically uploaded live streams from the day and released at a later time on YouTube. And we would love for you to subscribe there. I am looking at trying to bring Restream on. I think that's going to be the tool. Just a few questions I have about it that I'm working through, and that way we can put it out on both platforms all at the same time. So I like what a fellow streamer does that follows us does, and I have some questions when availability is there for us. All right, looks like I see a top of descent coming.
Atlanta Center, Delta 2050, 3100 direct to MPass.
Delta 2050 Atlanta Center, radar contact, climb maintain, flight level 370.
Climb maintain, flight level 370, Delta 2050.
Looks like lobs. Just before GOOGY, which is where we come off Atlanta, unless he cuts us loose early. All right, so what we have to do is, Airbus guys, what do we have to do? Usually fill in the approach page, but we don't have to here. Just got to verify everything looks good. Our approach speed is 145, planning hang on, 140. I'll be right back. Someone's at the door. All right, sorry about that. Gotta love those salesmen that door to door, and they said, the company said we won't do that ever again. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Now we just make sure nobody was reaching.
Atlanta Center, hello, Sunwing 276, 51350.
Sunwing 276 Atlanta Center, roger.
Okay.
Sunwing 276 squawk 6075.
145,
6075,
140,
thanks,
looks good.
776.
And if you didn't know, in SimBrief, you can actually do this too. Like you did takeoff, you could hit landing performance, calculate, and it will do pretty good. Although they're calling for 50. All right, 145. That's what we're looking at for an approach speed. Cool. All right. Just in case you didn't know, it is available at SimBrief. I always love this. We're in this big crab, you know, to stay on course. And now we're going to turn, and our airplane's going to almost look like it's pointing that way till it adjusts and crabs to the correct angle.
Atlanta Center, good afternoon, Blue Street 5568, 5600, heading 140.
Center to 753, I've 3.1 for 10,000.
Got a 753 standby. Blue Streak 5568 radar contact. Clear bomb me. Climb maintain flight level 230. Thank you.
Clear bomb me. Climb maintain flight level 230. Blue Streak 5568.
Got a 753 radar contact. Climb maintain flight level 380.
That's 380. That's 753 of you.
All right, still showing Memphis offline. I
Blue Streak 5568. Clear direct bomb me.
Clear direct bomb me. Blue Streak 5568.
Blue Streak 5568. Delete speed restriction.
Delete stream restrictions. Blue Streak 5568.
FedEx 811, Memphis Center's offline. Frequency change pretty good.
Memphis offline. FedEx over to Unicom. Have a great day. Great job.
Thank you.
All right, we're back on the Unicom. Here we go. We're getting close to top of descent. One thing about this plane, it takes a little getting used to, and I know we do it in ways in other airplanes. This one, it always seems backwards. I don't know if it is probably just this guy. But anyway, we are currently about 40 miles from top of descent. We got our approach information in. I'm going to go ahead and go back to perf. 30 miles actually. And I am going to go ahead, set 10,000 feet. And again, we are planning, even though SimBrief says no, or NavGraph, not used, we're planning runway 27. We are going to be that rebel. No, just kidding. There's nobody online. And hopefully when they do come online, if they do come online, they'll let me continue. Otherwise, it's a bunch of vectors. A vector will be vectoring us back to vector. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and start that down. Let me just make sure. All right, there we go. All right, we are starting down pretty hard too. Really don't like 4,000 feet a minute, but if that's what it says, that's what we'll do. But we got to get down to 10,000 by Chimler. 230 knots at 10,000 feet. So. Yeah, we're coming down pretty decently. We're about 4,000 feet a minute. So again, if you're new to the channel here on Twitch, we'd love you to hit that follow button. We crossed a milestone overnight with the 2 follows, Black Nye 75, Jamalo 45, and we set a goal of 450. We finally got there, thank goodness. We're still working on our subscription goal of 40. We've fallen off to 8, but that is to be expected. So we would love for you to subscribe, and if you don't like the ads running and ruining, and they come in usually right at the wrong time because I can't catch to maybe dismiss them, you can hit that subscribe button, and that will help the streamer out that you're watching, and provide you with ad-free viewing. So anyway, I hope you all take advantage, and I hope you all enjoy this arrival. I think I am going to set our speed. Okay, erase, we got to be at 290. All right, I'm going to put a general question out there about this plane, the MD-11. What exactly is the prof button? And for those going, what the heck are you talking about? It is right under 10,000 feet. The knobs for that and your vertical speed, you'll see prof. What exactly does that do? Just curious. Didn't really see what a viewer told me to try on takeoff. Plus, don't get me wrong, like always, I'm hitting auto flight and prof a lot on takeoff just to make sure this thing turns on course. But at least we didn't come down this time like we normally do. So, like I said, I don't know what it's for. Vance. Hang on, I think we're supposed to hang. Oh yeah, we are. Erase was supposed to be at 24 and higher. That way we'll catch up here, and then once we pass erase, we'll start nosing down again for 10,000. All right, in the meantime, the METAR in Memphis, let you all see it as well. Looks like altimeter 2977. We have been seeing some pretty low altimeters. My barometer's broke in the studio, so So, I don't know how to get them fixed other than to get it replaced. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and begin slowing up. I try to use level flight anytime to get us slowed down. Okay, and our minimums for this approach, I believe I read 200. 200, okay. Okay, as soon as we cross a race, we're going to begin our descent to 10,000 again. And work our way in as best we can. $19.7. Okay, we're proceeding downward to 10,000 feet. All right, folks, we are descending rapidly. You know, we are going to go direct to grid. And from there, we may just look for the visual like we were supposed to. So, hope you kind of enjoy this approach. Whatever was going on with Twitch about 10, 15, 20 minutes ago seems to have worked itself out, twitched itself out, and we're headed into Memphis. If we see the airport early, we're going direct. All right, we're going direct grit. Okay, we're going to get slowed here to 250 and get down to grit and be looking for this airport. Problem is, sun's going to be in our eyes, so meanwhile, let's get some of these checks done. Okay. Set that auto brake. I love to forget this thing. Okay. Right, we're just about at 250. All right, we're coming down at 250. Here we go. Okay, 7 minutes ago, we're now 2976. Okay, and still 200, and looking for the airfield here shortly. Again, with the sun in our eyes, this could be a trick. Now, if you want, you could come here, go to NavRad, put in your ILS and your course. What you've done is it should be showing up down here as 57 miles out. All right, we just need this plane to kind of kick it in gear. That's why we're doing 250, and hopefully we can slow up for landing. Okay, we're 40 miles from the initial. Oh boy. All right, here's the hardest part when you're up against the clock and There's nothing. I mean, I could do some things here.
Stabilizer motion.
Come on, airplane, get there. Come on, let's go, plane. All right, we're 20 miles from the initial. This is gonna really be a squeaker. Come on, airplane. Get your butt going. Sorry, folks, I am really up against the clock. All right, RV approach speed again, for those just tuning in, 145. Expect me to be coming down kind of hot. Spoilers armed, and brakes are set. Whew, this one's gonna be close. We get the grid up slowing before there will be a 180 coming down.
Stabilizer motion.
In case I don't find this runway real quick, let's get the ILS on.
Altitude.
Oh boy, come on, airplane. Okay, flaps are set.
Stabilizer motion. Stabilizer motion.
Ten miles. Memphis traffic, FedEx 811, 5 mile final 27. Okay, I've got the runway. Plane's gonna become mine.
Autopilot.
Damn it. Memphis 3 mile final, FedEx 811. Like I said, folks, when we get on the ground, there won't be any talk of what the landing was like. We're going to pretty much come off, get on a taxiway, and pretty much call it. So I do apologize. I am like out of time, and we're actually coming in, like I told you, we'd come in hot. And we're on the little high.
1000.
Just got to get on the runway. Okay, over the threshold.
500. 400.
Sync rate.
Okay,
sync
power.
rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
Short final, Memphis 8 FedEx 811.
Sync rate. Sync.
20. 10.
Okay, we're getting ready to come off the taxiway here. We'll shut down. All right, folks, thank you for being a part of Flying with Mike. I sure appreciate you being here. Real quick, as soon as I get off this runway turn, thank you. Gotta stop the 8 cars. hoping for the best. And clear of the runway. Parking brakes set. All right, let's see. Where's my ACARs? Stop. Wow, that actually wasn't as bad as I thought it could be. 811. Log. All right, folks, the airline logged us at 457 feet a minute. I really do hope y'all, Tobali 901, thank you. That was rough. Oh, what did it show? I'm not even going to look. I got to go. So, folks, I hope you all have a fantastic day. And, yeah, I've got to get going. So, we'll see you next time. God bless you.